Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Today, I will discuss and possibly defend the country of Poland, if you can believe that. But if it deserves it, it deserves it. And I will defend it because it deserves to be defended, because it got itself into a big doo-doo. And the doo-doo that Poland got into is not only NATO, in my assessment, but is the European Union as well. Now, when countries, um, wanted to be members, applied for membership in the European Union, each country had certain values and different cultures. Some of them different religious denomination. They were all Christian countries. I'm not certain if um certain countries from the Balkans have some majority Muslim, but I'm not sure if they are in the European Union. I don't think they are, but like Bosnia Herzegovina or countries that might have Muslim population in majority. I'm not certain about that. But nevertheless, all of the countries in European Union are Christian. Some of them are Catholics, some of them are Protestants, used to be Anglicans, but they're gone. So, nevertheless, each country has its own cultures, and the culture is created in centuries. It's a product of centuries. It's a tribe. That's how it became a country. A tribe with a territory and defended the territory, and then created borders. And within those borders, the tribe, the family, extended family, which is a tribe, which is a country, created a certain culture with certain particularities, to call them that way. And they decided that certain things are, self-evident. Now, when Poland and any other country in the European Union agreed to, you know, claim or apply for membership in the European Union, it had to obviously adhere to some common human rights, that was agreed upon. Well, they didn't know, these countries, that they would get into a actually ideology that would try to change their cultures, their the countries, the nation's traditions. And I'm talking about, for instance, in this case, not that I have anything to do with this kind of trend or particularity of a certain group of people. I might disagree with it, but it doesn't mean that I will, do anything about it. I just maybe have a different values. I have different, different traditions, different culture. In this case, we have Poland, which in its traditions and culture, they are heterosexual. And homosexuality is seen as a sin and as a perversion, which, or perversion by definition, is a uh, aberration, or it's something outside of normality. Homosexuality, being a minority of the, how should I put it, nature, because if you look around you and you look at any other animals, and we are animals, not different, the only thing is that we're thinking, homosexuality, or it's not a common theme. That's why it's outside of normality, which by dictionary from the Latin, perversion, pervert, pervert, outside of normality. No derogatory, it's just not normal, it's just not the main thing. Well, the Poles decided that they like to have their own culture and continue their own religious beliefs with Catholicism, and consider that as a sin and simply disagree with that. So they made certain policies within their country, their territory. Well, the European Union, which is a group of people, we don't know exactly belonging to what countries, they said that this is not right and Poland needs to change its policies and its traditions, and the way they saw this behavior as being, one perversion against their religion, against their tradition. But the leaders of European Union now, they blackmail Poland, the nation of Poland, with its traditions and religion, and tell the Polish government that unless they change their traditions and their cultural, millennial cultural trends, or how do you want to call those, they will not receive money. Well, Poland, since it got itself in this big doo-doo with the European Union, depends on some funds from some international banks that distribute the money to Brussels. So if Poland wants to have access to that money, to those bribes, they have to do what some people in Brussels, we don't know exactly what kind of allegiance they have, and they have to change the culture or push that kind of ideology, how do you want to call it, to its people, to its tradition, change its traditions if they want the money. So it's a blackmail, a financial blackmail. Well, if you think that you are right in your ideals and values, you should be able to make a point, and you should be able to convince a population that your ideology is right, and convince them logically, like the ancient Greeks used to do, and how our civilization used to function. Our civilization right now is perverted to something else, blackmail and threats. So Poland, that's gonna get me to this article finally, right? In which we have Reuters, from Reuters, June 28th. Polish court rules that 4 LGBT free zones must be abolished. So Polish court rules that. Why? A top Polish appeals court ruled on Tuesday that the so-called LGBT free zones must be scrapped in 4 municipalities, a verdict welcomed by activists as a victory for human rights and democracy. Democracy is when people vote. Those municipalities voted for that. So I don't know what these guys are talking about. And it says numerous local authorities in Poland passed resolutions by their elected officials, democratically, right? In 2019, declaring themselves free of LGBT ideology. So that means they don't want that kind of ideology to be in their community. But that comes from Brussels. So it says here, declaring themselves free of LGBT ideology, part of a conflict in the predominantly Catholic country between liberals and religious conservatives, not religious conservatives. That's their culture, that's their religion. The Polish religion is Catholics, Roman Catholic, who see the struggle for gay rights. What rights? What exactly? What exactly rights? You can do whatever you want over there. Oh, you can't have the same, I don't know, considered, I don't know, maybe adopt children like heterosexuals, or all right, a threat to their traditional values. Yes, there are threats to their traditional values. That their values, not traditional, their values. LGBT-free zones seek to ban what local authorities see as a promotion of homosexuality and other minority sexual identities, especially in schools. Well, you get too deep. You try to influence schools, so the new generations will be already injected with a new ideology. So then when we have a power to vote, they will vote based on the ideology that was provided in school. And it says here, these moves set Poland on a collision course with the European Commission, which said the zones may violate EU law regarding non-discrimination on grounds of sexual orientation. Well, we have my values, my traditions versus Brussels' interpretation of rights. What are we going to do about it? After a legal challenge from Poland's human rights ombudsman, lower courts ruled that 9 such resolutions must be scrapped. The public prosecutor's office, the ultra-conservative think tank Ordo, Luris, and the municipalities involved then appealed against these verdicts. In the 4 cases, the appeals were dismissed on Tuesday. So that is, and it says last Friday, the campaign against homophobia, said the EU Commission, had introduced a clause in the partnership agreement with Poland that would prevent municipalities with LGBT-free zones receiving funds from the bloc's 2011, 2021, 2027 budget. So they will not receive money. Then EU source confirmed the municipalities would adopt policies judged by the bloc to be discriminatory. Bloc, Brussels, not the bloc, Brussels. Discriminatory would not receive funding for infrastructure, the environment, and some other areas. So you either change your traditions and your culture, otherwise no money from you. Set some unknown people, unknown faces with unknown allegiances from Brussels. So my dear Poles, what are you going to do? I tell you what you should do. You should have a country that is able to be independent economically and politically and militarily. It doesn't mean you should not get into alliances, but it seems like Poland depends on some bankers' funds channeled through Brussels into Poland in order to build roads. Poland, you don't have money. You don't have money from your budget, from Polish budget, to build roads infrastructure. Why not? Globalism? Why do you depend on Brussels and international banking to build roads in those municipalities in exchange for you, I don't know, making a pact with the devil, let's call it this way, by just forgetting about your culture, your religion, your traditions? See, this is the way European Union functions, and not only. And they don't have any power, actually, but you are part of an organization. Do you have any rights? Do you have cultural traditions, anything? So just think about it. Just think about it. Who has power over you then? Some unknown faces and bankers? They want to change your culture into something that Poland never had. This is not Poland. Look at Hungary, the same way. They withdrew money from Hungary for the same reasons. Because Orban and his government said, no, we're not going to teach our children a certain ideology until the 5th grade. And that was, oh my God, well, that's not good. We're not going to give you money if you don't change that. So what are you going to do? It's on you, Poland. I hope you choose wisely. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Good luck to you, Poland. Um, you know, look for the truth and stay strong, stay smart, and be just. See ya.